Welcome to The Core. If you're interested in your health, you're in the right place. Stick around for fad-free, no BS tips and education to help you reach your goals. I'm Aline, a certified fat loss and nutrition coach by Precision Nutrition and CHFI.
And I am Shannon, a NASM certified personal trainer.
All right, so on this episode of the Core podcast, we're going to talk about why weight maintenance and not loss is your biggest struggle. Now, what we see all the time is people saying, I need to lose this weight again, or I did a really good diet and it worked really well, and then I gained the weight back, or something like people just trying to lose those same 5 to 10 pounds over and over and over and over again. And we see a lot of yo-yoing. So you do this amazing diet, you lose some weight, and then you gain the weight back. And then you find another amazing diet and you lose some weight, and then the weight comes back. Now, the reason why is because this whole diet culture that we're living in now, it focuses a lot on weight loss because honestly, that's where the money is. Okay. So selling you a pill, a shake, a secret weight loss plan that you have to, just a few payments of $24.99 and you can get my secret, but you have to sign up and nobody else has this. This is a secret. So you need to get into like this group and this email and this link. And then, you pay up front and then I'll tell you the secret. Well, the thing is, losing weight, fat loss, that speaks to a very present desire that many people have. What we see right now, right in front of us, is I want to lose weight. When we've talked about goals, go back to that if you didn't hear that. When we talk about these kinds of things, we're usually just looking at what it is that I want right now. In this present moment, what is front and center? What is bothering me the most right now? And usually when we talk about weight management, most people are say, you know what, I want to lose some weight. This weight is bothering me. We rarely look further down the road. We just look at right now, what do I want to do? And when we're looking at right now, what do I want to do? It's very hard for us to look at strategies that are long-term or even medium-term. It's much easier to say, okay, I want to lose these 20, 30, whatever pounds. What do I have to do? What's the shake that's going to get me there the fastest? What's the pill that's going to fix this the fastest? What's the program? What's the whatever it is? We get into these solutions because it's much easier to commit to something short term than it is to think of something that we have to do long term. Now, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that is damaged in you for thinking like this. This is human nature. It's much easier to commit to something quick and fast, and I'll get the results and I'll be done, than it is to think, oh my goodness, this is something that, I'm doing for life. Now, I'll let you in on a secret. The reason why most fat loss, most weight loss plans fail isn't because you're damaged or broken or there's something wrong with you. If only you could follow the plan. That's not the big issue. The issue with these things is that it is a drastic short-term solution. It's not thinking about life. So if you look at, for instance, okay, you go into a program, you have to pay about $100 a month for you to get a shake, a pre-workout, a recovery, and you buy this package. Now, do you really want to spend $100 for the rest of your life on these shakes? Sure, they come out with new flavors because they know that people are going to get sick of them, but is that something that you want to do? When we talk about meal replacements, now meal replacements can be great. Lots of people use them. They're a wonderful tool. Do you want to be stuck on that meal replacement for the rest of your life? Is that how you want to eat lunch every single day for the rest of your life? Think about that. And that's something that we don't usually think about. When somebody gives you a meal plan and says, okay, This is the list of the foods that you can eat. This is the list of the foods that are fattening. You can never eat these foods. These foods are bad for you. This is junk. This is going to ruin your health. You're going to die sooner. Okay. And it may sound like I'm being dramatic. I'm really not. This is all legitimate things that people say to try to sell you a secret fat loss formula, which, by the way, doesn't exist. Anyway, these things, do you really want to give up all of these things for the rest of your life? Do you really only want to eat from this specific list for the rest of your life? Now, when you talk to someone who has a medical condition or has an illness where for legitimate medical reasons, they need to make this kind of choice, it is not something that is super exciting. It is not something that makes their life any easier. Quite the contrary. People who have legitimate health issues, and I keep using that word because lots of people just hop into trends. Like now there's actually people promoting that regular people that have no issues with blood sugar start using diabetic what are they called? Those little measurements so that they can lose weight, which means that they're taking these tools away from diabetic people who actually need the tools because they just want to hop in on or create a new trend. So when I say legitimate, I mean, this is not something that you think you want to try so that you can try to lose weight. I'm talking about people who have an actual food allergy, who are celiac, who have diabetes, who have, so these are legitimate health issues, among others, that you need to make a dietary change, and it is not optional. You don't get to change your mind later down the road, okay? This actually interferes with people's life in the long term. It means that every time they go visit a friend, that friend has to know about their issues and cater to that. This means that every time they go to a restaurant, they need to look at the menu and have a conversation, see if it's possible for them to eat there. That means that if they take a road trip, they won't necessarily be able to stop at any gas station and hop in and grab something to eat if they're hungry. These kinds of restrictions, they do not make anybody's life easier. They make some people healthier because they have a medical issue that needs that, but they don't necessarily make people's lives easier. So when you think about your life, you don't have to make these choices. You are free to eat any food. Do you really want to stop eating this list of things or only eat that list of things for the rest of your life? So the thing that makes maintenance so difficult is that we are very, very quick to commit to the shortcut. We are very quick to commit to what seems like the easiest thing to do, when in reality, after you've reached your goal, so maybe you take the shake or the pill or the list or whatever it is, after you reach your goal and you've lost the weight that you want to lose, what do you do then? 9 out of 10 people, what they do is they say, okay, I did it. I got to where I wanted. I'm sick of this shake, or I'm tired of this pill or whatever it is. And then they just go back to how they lived before. And of course, the weight comes back, because unless you're willing to do something for the rest of your life, you're not going to see the lasting results of whatever it is you were doing.
Exactly. I think that is such a good point, Eleni. And it goes back to the beginning of when someone is trying this 21-day fix, is they do what's called the Last Supper.
Yes.
They eat all of the things, everything that they enjoy, thinking, I'm never going to eat this again, or I can't have this for 21 days. And then, that 22nd day arrives and they think that they've done it and that's it. And then they go back to all of those old habits again. And it ties into that competition goal where it's all short term,
Yes.
not creating or establishing proper healthy habits to maintain that for the rest of their life.
And the thing is, our health, it's not a one-time investment that's going to pay off, right? Like when you think, okay, I have $1 million and I'm going to put this in an investment and I'm going to live off the profit or whatever, the the financial term is for this. That doesn't happen with our health. Our health is something that we have to do every single day, right? So these temporary things that you have 21 days, a week, a month, 10 days to tighter abs, whatever it is, like these things, they don't last. And when you stop, now there's you mentioned the Last Supper. That is a mentality that so many people have, because they say, okay, now it's going to be different. I'm going to start on Monday. Okay, so Monday comes and you only eat plain white boring grilled chicken and spinach. Okay, nothing else on it. Okay, you made it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're sick of it. Thursday, you might add something to the salad, but I guarantee that come Friday, you're eating a whole pizza by yourself. You're hungry and you're tired of that boring food, right? So all of these behaviors, this has been studied so much, and the studies consistently show that all these restrictive behaviors of I can't, this is forbidden. When you indulge, not if you give in, when you give in, you eat a lot more than you would have eaten if you simply ate without that broken relationship with food, without that fear. And then there's actually a very interesting study, for instance, on low carb that shows that people who decide to go very low carb, a year after they start, they are eating 3 times more carbohydrates than they were before going low carb, which shows us that excessive restriction tends to lead to higher consumption after you stop whatever it is that you stopped.
Yes, I would definitely agree and can see that. Do you feel, Alini, with your personal journey, because a fun fact about you is you eat chocolate every day.
Yes.
Do you feel having that chocolate every day because it's something that you love and not restricting yourself from it, you're able to maintain that desire? You don't go overboard or you don't go underboard. You can maintain that craving.
I feel like there's a big similarity between, let's think, money and food as a budget. So for instance, maybe someone who loves getting their nails done. Okay, that's not me, by the way. But anyway, I have several friends that they consistently get their nails done professionally. They'll go to the salon. This is important to them. This is something they like. So they get their nails done. Now, what happens is they budget for this. This is part of their financial reality. This is something that is important to them. So when they lay out their budget, their finances, when they look at how much money they make, how much money they spend, going to get their nails done is part of that math. And for some people, it's, for example, a vacation. Okay, I will travel internationally every couple of years, for example. So that is part of what they do day in, day out, so they can have those experiences. To me, food is exactly the same thing. If you say, oh, I can never get my nails done, I'll never be able to do this, you're not actually going to put it in your budget. You're not actually going to add that as part of your financial reality. And then one day you're going to look at your nails and you're going to be fed up and you're going to go and you're going to do it. And that might put a very bad dent on your finances. Now, that's less money, so maybe people won't relate that much to that one. But for example, a vacation, if you say, I can't travel, I can't travel, I can't travel, I can't travel, I can't go anywhere, I don't make enough money. And then one day you just go and you go online and a sale comes up and they say, 10 small payments of $55. And you go and you book this vacation and you end up putting yourself in debt maybe for a year after that vacation because you didn't plan for it. It's the exact same thing with our food. If you tell yourself, I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't have this, this is going to kill me sooner, this is going to give me cellulite, this is going to make me fat, that whatever it is that we say, if we consistently tell ourselves that we can't, when we finally do it, we tend to do it in a detrimental way. Most of the time, this shows up as just too much. So I can't eat donuts. I can't eat donuts. Donuts are forbidden. I can't eat donuts. Donuts are bad. Donuts are going to kill me. And then when I do eat donuts, this is actually a true story, I eat 12 donuts in one sitting. And then later, not only do I feel physically ill, I feel awful about myself because I ate the 12 donuts. And now to answer your question, I learned that donuts are fine. Are donuts the healthiest thing that I can eat? No, I don't think anybody would argue that point that, you don't want to base a healthy diet on donuts, but can I eat a donut? Sure. And then either when an event happens or like for some reason there's donuts. The last time I remember this happening, there was a Christmas party somewhere and they had all these cute Christmas donuts. Oh my gosh, I love donuts. I went and I ate one. I didn't eat 5. I certainly didn't eat 12. I ate one because it's fine. I can eat donuts. And that's what happens with me every day with chocolate. What I found was I restricted myself so much that when I did eat, I had absolutely no emotional or mental control over the amount. And then I would overeat. And now I can tell you for certain that there is ice cream in my freezer. And for Mother's Day, I actually got like 5 or 6 chocolate bars, which I absolutely love, but I forgot about them until we talked about this right now. So they're in my pantry. Now, this never would have happened before I was able to heal this relationship with food because I restricted myself so much that that's all I thought about. And this is what we see a lot. And going back into the maintenance issue, what happens is it's hard to maintain because when everything is so forbidden, when the 21 days or the week or the month or whatever it is up, you just say, oh, I made it. I did it. I got to the end. And then you go and you just stuff your face because you didn't learn anything. You spent a lot of money. You took all these actions, but you didn't learn anything. You didn't change your habits. So to make maintenance easier, it's actually a very, very simple thing. We just, going back to goals, like we talked before, we just need to stop thinking about the weight loss and start thinking about the weight maintenance. And we have to say, what am I willing to do for the rest of my life? So going back to the chocolate, I'm not willing to live without chocolate. Now, I did that for a while. This is a whole other story we can go into one day, but I did completely cut all kinds of sugar from my life for a year. Now, this is a different process. I do not recommend this to anyone. It was hard. It was miserable. It was awful. I needed to do that. And I can go into that one day. But I'm not willing to live without chocolate for the rest of my life. I love it. I don't want to live without it. So instead of saying to lose weight, I have to take out chocolate, that's the wrong assumption and that's the wrong question. What I have to say is, how can I keep chocolate in my life and manage my weight? And then you work backwards. And so in working backwards, I was able to incorporate chocolate into my life and still lose all the weight that I had to lose. And I've been maintaining my weight for years. So, obviously it worked.
Yeah. And to back up just a little bit, the comment that you made of, stop focusing on that weight loss and focus on the weight management
Mhm.
couldn't be more true. I mean, we could take plenty of examples of people that we know that are solely focusing on that weight loss and they're more stressed out.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
probably actually gained weight because of that stress and anxiety of trying to lose weight. So once you kind of nip that part in the butt and gain that relationship with the food and focus on that maintenance is actually when you start seeing that weight loss occur.
Yes. And it is so common. I see this with all my clients actually. When they graduate into maintenance, they actually lose a little bit of weight.
Yep.
And all of them say, oh, but I lost a little more weight. And I'm like, no, that's okay. Maintenance is a range and you're going to find your balance. But that's exactly it. Like they lose a little bit of weight because they take away that stress. Now, I'm also not saying that you shouldn't try to lose weight if this is something that you need to do or that you want to do. I am saying that the strategies you use to lose weight have to be thinking about maintenance because your body will reflect what you do with it and what you put into it. We've talked about this before. So when you are approaching a fat loss phase, always think of, are these actions that I can support later? Because here's a truth that most people don't want to tell you. Whatever you do to lose weight is what you're going to have to do to keep it off. So if you do your weight loss thinking of weight maintenance, that means that you are going to create the habits that you will be able to sustain. Now, of course, with weight maintenance, you can eat more, and that's awesome. But it's not eat more saying, okay, I only eat spinach, and then when I reach my goal weight, okay, I can eat pizza every day. Well, if you only ate spinach, then eating pizza is not going to maintain your weight. Now, if maybe you balanced out the spinach and the pizza during your fat loss phase, then when you go into maintenance, you're not obsessed with the pizza. You can just adjust those volumes, that quantity, and still eat what you enjoy. So why is maintenance so hard? Maintenance is hard because we make fat loss either too easy or too hard on ourselves. We either go the quick fix, just pop this pill and you're done, or we go way too hard and we can't sustain that in the long run. So to do a good maintenance, to actually lose this weight, and or to gain the weight, to gain the muscle, whatever it is, to maintain that later, think about that now. Think about maintenance now while you're working on your goals, and weigh every decision against forever. Because like we said, health isn't money in the bank. This isn't something that you deposit and you're like, hey, I'm good, I'm set. No, this is something that you have to do all the time. This is a payment that you have to make every single day, several times a day, actually, because you eat several times a day. So always make your decisions now, thinking of later. Now, of course, during a loss phase, especially, there are things that you're going to do that you're not going to see in maintenance. There are some restrictions that you're going to put on yourself that, yes, they're going to be a little harder than maintenance. At the same time, they shouldn't be things that you're not willing to do in maintenance. The same way with weight gain or muscle gain. If you're not willing to keep pushing yourself physically after you reach whatever muscle physique you want, you're going to lose that actually a lot quicker than you would regain the weight, by the way, but that's Shannon's territory. But you want to gain mass, you want to be like muscular and have muscle definition. You have to think about, what am I going to do later? Okay, so maybe you want to run for half an hour a day. Okay, what are you going to do to get there? But are you willing to keep running, or is this just a goal that you want to reach and move on? So these are things that you have to think about. What are you willing to do forever? And that is something that you need to incorporate into your fat loss phase, is what am I willing to do for life? Because if I'm not willing to do this for life, that's a red flag that might not be the best strategy for you. Thank you for joining us for this episode. We would greatly appreciate it if you left a review wherever you listen to this podcast. Remember that you can join our email list at practicethecore.com for more tips on how to improve your health. We are Aline and Shannon, and this is The Core.